Hi everybody, and I'm sure by the thumbnail that's attracted you as well as the name to this particular reaction, you're going to hear Diana Navarro, Los Compañeros, which means the bell ringer. Now it's a flamenco song, and she is one of Spain's, over the last 20 years, top performers when it comes to flamenco singing, holding the longest note in a song, and her song solo, she performs that very long note, and she's able to hold the note with such, it's just incredible to listen to. And she does this in this particular song as well. She tends to hold a particular note in quite a few of her performances. This is a live performance on Spanish television, and it's one of her best. This song has history to it. It's always been attempted by flamenco singers, female and male, but we're going to hear Diana's version of it, that particular film. But back to Diana, back to today's song, and I have to give you a little history. Acompañero is a flamenco cante song. It comes in couplets of 6 verses. It has its origin in sacred songs in Andalusia. And Andalusia, for those that don't know, is the southernmost community in the peninsula of Spain. It's most populous and the second largest autonomous community in the country. And this is where its origins of this particular song that Diana is going to sing comes from, which was chanted during the early morning procession known as a Rosario de la Aurora, which is Aurora Rosary in English. And so it was a chant, and it comes in couplets, and it has its origins in Andalusia, and it's a flamenco song that we are all going to savor. I have the lyrics in front of me. And as always, everybody, Diana Navarro is one of my favorites. Please check her out on my channel. You won't be disappointed with each song I react to. She's quite incredible. And I love flamenco music. My partner is Spanish. He's from Bilbao. And I think he's really surprised that I've fallen in love with flamenco music. But I said to him one time, it's just one of those things that just appeals to me. I feel it's the true essence of what Spain is all about. And there's no other artist in Spain besides Maria who can sing quite like Diana. She's in a league of her own, and may she long continue to sing songs like this. Let's take a listen. And if you are from, I have subscribers and viewers from all over the world. If you are new to Diana Navarro, you're going to save her. I've introduced her to you. So take it away, Diana, and let's listen to what's called the bell ringer in English.
En la noche de la noche buena, bajo las estrellas de la madrugada, los pastores con sus campanillas adoran al niño que ha nacido ya, y con devoción van tocando zambomba y pandero, cantándole coplas al niño de Dios. A la puerta a la puerta de un rico avariento llegó Jesucristo y limosna pidió, y en lugar de darle la limosna, los perros que había se lo asusó. Pero quiso Dios que los perros al momento murieran, y el rico avariento pobre se quedó. Ay, ay. Increíble.
That was worth all the applause and much, much more. She sings, look how beautiful the audience is dressed and how elegant. It's just part of what Diana Navarro is about. She sings in the best of places, even when she's singing live on TV. But that is the norm. It's just people are so in awe of that beautifully controlled voice. And there's no other, I feel, quite like her. Maria Ilergo does come close. She really does. And like Diana, she also sings pop music and she goes into different genres. Diana just doesn't stay in one genre. But on my description to this particular video, I've given you a link to her most recent album. If you love Spanish music and flamenco, you will love the combination of ballads that Diana does. And I always say, if you don't understand the words, where words fail, the music will carry you and her voice will carry you. I certainly didn't understand all those words, but I just absolutely adore her. And that's why I've reacted to her so often, because she gives quality. She's a lady from her head to her feet. She's just a beautiful singer. Someday I hope I'm blessed to be in an audience like these people here and just savor that voice and just experience it for myself. Someday soon. Until then, we're going to go into the lyrics as always, everybody, and I have the translation in front of me. It starts, in the night, on the night of the good night, under the stars of the early morning, the shepherds with their bells adore the child who has already been born, and with devotion they play some bombas and tambourines, singing couplets to the child of God. So you've already guessed it's religious, and that's where I said to you in the beginning that the origins of the song comes from a procession, and it's in English it's called a Order Rosary. Now you go back to, and it comes from Andalusia, and all of it comes through when she sings, because she's singing in couplets. Even when she holds the note is almost in couplet form. And to the experienced flamenco singer, they would understand what I'm saying. So I'm trying to keep things very simple here. But her tonality, her control, the clearness of her vocals just comes and it goes inside and it just reaches you. And even though this is considered more of a religious song, it isn't a Christmas song. This song is sung all year long by many, many artists on many shows throughout and many festivals throughout Spain. So I don't want you to get the wrong idea. It's just a beautiful, beautiful song. And it continues, at the door of a greedy rich man, Jesus Christ arrived, and he asked for alms. And instead of giving him alms, the dogs that had scared him Instead of giving him alms, the dogs that he had scared him. But God willing that the dogs at the memento died and the rich greedy probe stayed. So I have to explain throughout this now in stages. On the night of the good night, under the stars of the early morning, the shepherds with their bells adore the child. So it's the birth of Jesus Christ, who had already been born. It's a celebration of a song of lyrics of the birth of the Saviour of the world. And with devotion the lyrics were wrote, and with devotion it is sung, and with devotion it is tied to the birth of Jesus. And where you wouldn't associate with the birth of Jesus music, in flamenco it's impossible not to associate a piece of history that they write about like this in lyrics without romanticizing it and making it a bit more modern. And they have done that with mentioning in the lyrics they play some bone, which it's difficult for me to understand what instrument that would be. A sambombas. Maybe somebody in Spain can explain it in the comments. I'd appreciate that, so everybody else that reads the comments would understand. And tambourines singing their couplets to the child of God. So it's a song that's not just religious, it's a song of celebration of music. It's a song of dancing. It's a festive time. They've added through the lyrics a festive feeling, and Diana sung that so beautifully and delivered it so well that you didn't feel it was a religious song. I certainly wouldn't have imagined it would have been. It is a song for all religions, of all faiths, of all denominations. It's a celebration song, but sung with passion, and those long notes hold that passion. And then it continues at the door of a greedy rich man. Because remember, when we associate the birth of Jesus, they talk of frankincense, they talk of myrrh, they talk of other things. And here he said, and he asked for alms. And instead of giving him alms, they presented him with being, before they arrived to bear gifts to Jesus, he was scared by the barking dogs and the craziness. And it's almost like a twist. Instead of getting mirth and gold and all the glitter of the greedy rich, that's what they present, you're just going to get the sound of reality, the sound of what you've been born into. And that's mad barking dogs, whether it be people or whether it be the animals. But it says in the final, but God willing that the dogs at that moment died. In other words, that on his birth, all the craziness of the world he was born into, remember it was a crazy world at the time, and the Romans hated the fact that so many people were celebrating this birth of this man. They found it a threat to Julius Caesar at the time. So Pontius Pilate was given the job which he did, to slaughter all the babies to try and get rid of this one child. But he didn't succeed. And they were the dogs that at the time they're referring to. And the rich and greedy Romans and all of the people that surrounded them to try and destroy Jesus didn't. Probe stayed, it said. In other words, Jesus lived. So that's my interpretation of the lyrics. I think it's a very beautiful song. It's a song for all occasions. Diana Navarro, you never seem to fail. You deliver with such beauty, such passion, and the voice is effortless, just like anything that you do. I'm glad, I'm going to say this, that you didn't do Eurovision, because I think it would have been, because around that time Eurovision wasn't so good. It was going through, they were throwing up songs from all the countries that were horrible to listen to, and whereas your voice would have shone, people around the world almost consider flamenco second class as regards music because they don't understand it, or they label it as boring and other things, but it isn't. It's beautiful. When it's sung by Diana Navarro, she delivers it so beautifully. But I don't think Eurovision would have been a platform, Diana, that I would have enjoyed you singing such beauty to the world, simply because it would have been misunderstood and it would have been almost frowned upon. I'm glad you didn't. Your career has proven you didn't need that platform. Like Monica Naranjo, the fans are always looking somebody famous. But I think to throw in Maria Alergo for next year's Benidorm Festival to represent Spain is a good thing. Because the time is right, Diana, now. The time is right. And I hope Maria does win and delivers a song that represents a quality of what Spain has to offer musically. Because for far too long, Spain has sent the most god-awful acts and they've never won. But I think next year the world will stand back and go, wow, who is this incredible flamenco pop singer? And she is the person on my playlist, and she's a person that you have to listen to, so go check. I'll attach her video to this and give you a double helping of wonderful flamenco pop singers from Spain. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, don't forget to comment, like, press the buttons and subscribe to my channel. Everybody in Spain, please subscribe, because all my videos are in your language. Take care for now, goodbye, and thank you very much for listening.